Hi, I'm Rafael Perez, and I'm a mortgage consultant. I have been since 2004, and I'm going to tell you a little bit of history because it really will have an impact on you or your family today if you or somebody you know are considering buying a house in this market. Now, back in 2004, as many of you may remember, housing prices had already increased to historic levels. A lot of people had a sudden sense of wealth as they now had home equity, their home had appreciated in value, or for those that had not bought a house yet, they felt a big urge to buy before it was too late. Now, the problem was for many people, the market cycle had already reached its peak and didn't increase much more from 2004 to 2007. But during that time, between 2004 and 2007, there was many creative financing options available. Today's most common financing option is an FHA loan. That's because there's low down payment requirements, more flexible credit guidelines, and it's really one of the programs that gives people the opportunity to become a homeowner when many other programs wouldn't due to stricter guidelines. But back in 2004, 2005, 2007, specifically in the urban metro areas of this country, the most readily available financing options were really based on conventional loan products, not FHA. The problem with that is, for many of you who are out in the market looking right now, you may see a home that says no FHA loans. That's because the house needs a little bit of work. There may be some repairs needed to the house. Overall, it's not in the best condition. But back in 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, FHA was not a commonly used product, at least not by the majority of the market. And because of that, many homes that needed work were able to be financed by first-time buyers because there was alternative programs available. Now, these homes may not have been in the best shape. And because of that, many people who bought during this time, at a time when the market was at its peak, and have since either defaulted because they couldn't qualify to begin with, or they've just walked away because the house has no equity, many of these homes never got the repairs done. So because of that, a significant portion of the foreclosure market are these homes that needed repairs to begin with, who were let go into foreclosure by people who had given up on their house, and now there's these foreclosures on the market that need a lot of work. That's a problem, and it's an opportunity. The reason it's a problem is because these homes are in many cases not safe, they're in many cases not secure, and in many cases not habitable, all which are HUD FHA standards of living. What happens many times is these homes go onto the market and only an investor who's buying cash can get into these properties. There are alternatives for home buyers to get into them, but most home buyers don't really know how to take advantage of these programs. Now, where the opportunity lies is because these homes are so far in disrepair, they're selling below market value, meaning the cost of the property is lower than the average property that's in good shape. Problem, it needs repairs. Now, there is a program that allows you to finance these repairs into the purchase. It works with a first-time home buyer and still has a minimal down payment, and that's the FHA 203K loan. So if you're out in the market right now, and a lot of the inventory you're seeing is these properties that the previous owner bought at the peak of the market, and they maybe didn't do any repairs when they bought it, and since then the home has gone into disrepair. If that's the kind of inventory you're seeing out in the market, or if you're considering getting into the market and you just know that those are the kind of properties you can afford, then you're going to want to consider an FHA 203K rehab loan as a tool in your tool belt as you're out there shopping for homes, so that you know when you find a great deal on a property that needs some work, you have a financing option available that's going to allow you or somebody in your family who's looking to buy a home the opportunity to purchase a property, fix it up to make it very livable, very secure, very comfortable, to modify the home and improve it to modern safety standards. This is really a great opportunity for you to not only potentially create some equity in this property, but also to make sure that the house is safe, secure, habitable, meets, minimum federal safety standards, so that moving forward, you know that you made a sound investment in a solid property that's going to be your financial future from here through the next 30 years as you, as a homeowner, maintain and keep this property throughout future economies to come. Now, we all know that as our country is worried about how we're going to pay our debt obligations in the coming future, there's a great possibility that we may take some actions that may lead to some inflation. It's going to cause increased prices, increased interest rates, increased cost of everything. And one good way to hedge against inflation is through the purchase of real estate. Through the purchase of real estate, as our economy spirals out of control, for example, and our country has to print extra money, everything gets inflated. One hedge against that is a fixed housing payment. And if you have a fixed housing payment throughout unstable economies, you know that at your financial foundation, you are grounded. You have something that's stable, consistent, and no matter what happens with work, no matter what happens with the economy, you have something that's dependable. If you know anybody that's renting right now because they don't think they can afford a house, this may be their last opportunity to actually afford a house while prices are low and interest rates are low. I don't want to keep sounding like I'm being an alarmist, but I truly believe that prices can't go much lower, interest rates can't go much lower. I mean, there's nothing to indicate that they will go much lower in the big picture of things. So unless you know otherwise, feel free to send me an email, but all the data that I've been seeing out in the market indicates that prices are about at their bottom. Interest rates are about at their bottom. Of course, everything changes daily, but big picture, things are pretty low, pretty affordable. And for some of the beat up inventory, there's still low down payment options to get into that and still have an affordable payment. So if you're renting or somebody you care about is renting, I highly encourage you to let them know that if they have average credit, which is anything above a 640, it's probably a good opportunity to just jump in the market, make a commitment, and build a financial future with a fixed housing payment for the next 30 years. You know that you or your family's financial legacy will either have a home that's paid off if you don't refinance it and extract any equity, and two, you know that you'll have a financial future based on your monthly housing expense. Your other option is for you or your family member or friends to continue to rent into an uncertain future where rents are capable of increasing and our economy can spin out of control. Friends, I'm telling you this because I care about your financial future. Get a fixed housing cost now. Get into the game, press start, and start the next 30 years of that mortgage in the direction of providing you with a future retirement. If you're 30 or under right now, this is your opportunity to be responsible for your own retirement. I don't know if Social Security is still going to be around by the time I turn 65, and I don't want to depend on it. I hope that you have the same mindset and that you don't want to depend on it either. Once again, if this has stirred up any questions whatsoever, feel free to contact me. I'm more than willing to help explain the process, explain any loan programs, explain how people are qualified, or just show you what monthly housing payment corresponds with what purchase price. I thank you for your time. I know that your time is valuable, and I hope that this was worthy of your time and shared with you some information you may not have known. Thanks for watching and have a great day.